everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica and this is almost the last week of school. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we had a beautiful glow stick party in the gym. Music, dancing, the lights are off. Every kid's got a glow stick. Some kids knew it was glow stick day, so they brought those little glow stick light up masks that you can get at Walmart really cheap. So we had a super good end of the month celebration for May. And that's just promoting our PBAS standards as a school and the positive things that students need to earn in order to be able to attend that party. So it was like an all-school celebration. So today was Monday, just a normal Monday. It was kind of busy. My one para right now is on vacation, so I have a substitute here. So things can get a little crazy having a substitute, especially that's a para, because it's not like for me where I leave like my own lesson plans. It's like she's leaving her own lesson plans. So that's been interesting, just trying to help the para take over someone else's routine when I don't like 100% know the routine, because I'm not the one going into those classrooms and servicing those students. Like my para is doing that for me. It was a really good day. I'm really hoping that this week will just fly by so quick. So we have tomorrow's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then next week, Monday, we do rotations in a movie all day. And the whole school does rotations, and then Tuesday we all go to a park down the road and we have like inflatables and super fun stuff right there. And then Wednesday's the last day of school and we do an early release around lunchtime, and it's like awards. So like after 11 o'clock you can take your kid home. So usually like when it's time to release around noon, there's only like 15 kids that actually ride the bus home. And then all the hard work starts of classroom packing up, because I need to organize this place so much. If you haven't watched my vlogs before, hello, welcome, and I've got a lot of stuff in a small room. So these are all bad things. Today I have community band practice. I need to go home and eat some dinner and then practice my piccolo, because we are going to be playing the Star Spangled Banner in a concert, not this week but next week, and I am horrible at it still because I just have been slacking. So I need to somehow figure out how to do this solo, even though like I did it last year and it was okay, but like I've gotten worse because I haven't been practicing. But it's like a hard solo to begin with, so it's like never been 100%. It's probably been about 85%, and now it's about 40% because I haven't practiced all year long. So I need to go home and get my act together before I embarrass myself in front of others. Okay, see you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday, friends. The end of the year is getting closer as we know it. One of my favorite things about the end of the year is that the lunch schedule is just like all over the place. And like today we had like 3 different kinds of pizzas you could choose from. So I went with personal pizza. We also could have like just the regular triangle pizzas or the like French bread pizzas, but today I was feeling like a personal pizza. It is a beautiful day. It's supposed to get a high of 83. It really doesn't feel like it yet, but I'm sure as the afternoon rolls on, it's gonna get really hot and toasty in here. I'm gonna go eat my lunch and I'll check in with you later. Our kids got the best experience today. So K1 and 2 saw a reptile show from 12 to 12:30, and then 3, 4, and 5 saw it from 12:30 to 1. It kind of ran over a little bit. But we saw like iguanas and pythons and anacondas, and they got to pet a baby alligator, and there was like snapping turtles, and we learned the difference between like a tortoise's feet and a snapping turtle's feet, and it was really cool. I'm sad that I forgot my camera. I didn't get to show you anything, but it was a really cool experience for our students, and it was great when we have like 7 days of school left and we just need the kids to be occupied and not being crazy. Speaking of crazy, I missed most of my lunch. Still have my apples and my caramel to eat because someone was making bad decisions out on the playground and I needed to go fetch them. And it was like a 20-minute ordeal where they would not come inside. So that was great. Missed most of my lunch, but oh well. School day's almost over. I need to finish up some paperwork and some progress reports and just start cleaning this place up because it's a mess. I also have a meet and greet on Thursday coming up that I need to prepare for. Unfortunately, I don't have the IEP for this student, and they're transferring from another district, so I can't like look at the paperwork until they get here. But I just want to have some things together and thoughts and ideas just based off of the phone call I had with the parent. It is 5:30 and I am still here doing progress reports, but I am almost done, so I thought I'd walk you through what one looks like. So for this student, their goal was when asked to recall details or main idea in a passage, the student can identify key details and summarize the main idea in 2 out of 10 trials. So basically at the end of the IEP, they need to be able to recall the details of the main idea of the passage in 2 out of 3 trials. So their IEP was in April, so we're like still in the thick of like all this instructional things and getting this down and working on it. Students still working on identifying details and the main ideas of a passage. Student can identify key details that relate to the text, summarize the main idea in 2 out of 10 trials. Student often gets hung up on the cool parts of a book and cannot identify the main idea. So sometimes they're simple like that, or like the math goal for her is student will increase ability to calculate perimeter, area, surface area, and volume of 2 2 and 3 dimensional figures from a current level of 40% to 80% accuracy by the end of the IEP period. So the baseline for her goal was when given a definition of perimeter and area, she could successfully calculate the perimeter and area of a shape. If she doesn't have the definition, she can calculate it correctly 6 out of 10 times by guessing. She can solve surface area and volume with 0% accuracy. So right now her progress, where she was in like April to where she is now, is she still requires step-by-step assistance to solve area, surface area, and volume of 2 and 3 dimensional figures with 20% overall. Student is solving perimeter equations with 90% accuracy. So some of them are super easy like that, and we're just like bam, 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 giving out the numbers. And some are like a little bit more the numbers, where I'm explaining like what's going on right now in the student's life and like some like issues for like why they're not reaching their goal, or like things that are helping them get their goal. So this student's is a behavior goal during recess and MAPE, so that's music, art, Phi-Ed. They will interact with their peers in an appropriate manner through maintaining personal space and using a respectful voice for an average of 80% intervals measured over a 2-week period on his check-in check-out chart. So that's just something we use to monitor behavior of a lot of students, and some of mine are my special ed students are on check-in check-out. So his baseline was that he was interacting with his peers about 30% of the time. There's like 30 students in his MAPE class, which means he's in close contact with them all the time. Lots of kids sitting close to each other, poking and singing and touching other people's things and not listening to the teacher out of his chair, struggling to listen to the teacher, arguing, that sort of thing. So basically, in a 2-week period, they will use a respectful voice and maintain personal space with 80% as measured by the check-in check-out chart. So like his current progress is that they're continuing to make good choices, has almost 100% on their chart in MAPE since April, still struggles with the concepts of winning and losing when playing games in gym, or Kahoot and art was a recent thing. Our teacher has been using the strategy of having student as a mini teacher, so he's, instead of playing the games, he can choose to be like in charge of the game, and he's making sure that others are following the rules of the game, so that's working really well for him right now. So right now, during the MAPE period, that student is receiving an average of 70% on his check-in check-out chart, and his goal is 80%, so like we are progressing. We are almost to the goal. So we're under a severe thunderstorm watch right now. Starting to get the darker skies. We've got some nice flash flood warnings for our area. Not really like exact tornado weather per se. Wisconsin's not really a tornado alley kind of place, but we do have a couple tornadoes every couple year. There's a town a little bit north of mine called Chautauqua, and they had a pretty good tornado. And they had a pretty decent tornado go through their place like 2 years ago. And I actually was student teaching in a town like an hour from there, so I would drive through that town to get to the place where I was student teaching. And so the difference between a non-tornado and the day the tornado went, like just stuff flattened all over the place. Just crazy. Like, nature is crazy. I am going home. My progress reports are done and all printed, except the janitor locked the room that the printer's in, and I was too lazy to go back and get my key and unlock it, so I have to remember to get here tomorrow and get my papers out of the printer and then send them home. And like, that part of my job is done. I have 2 team reports I need to finish. So my school psych has opened the team reports for those 2, but she hasn't done like her portions of it, so I've taken that as a sign that I'm not going to do it yet, because it's so much easier where she's like put in all her information, because like you don't do team reports that often unless you're doing a lot of initial evaluations, and I've done a lot of initial evaluations this year, but I'm like still not a total pro at it, so it's so much easier when she has all her information in, and then I just plug mine in after her, because like it's so much easier to figure out where it's supposed to go. But yeah, 2 team report parts, 1 IEP, and cleaning my room is basically all that stands in the way of me enjoying my summer. I have lots of things over the summer I'm going to be working on, like visual schedules. I need to fix one. I need to revamp some check-in check-out charts just to like target some more of like behavioral concerns with some of my students, and then just like general curriculum lesson planning stuff, which means that I cannot be working like 12, 15-hour shifts at Walmart, because that's like what I usually get sucked into, because literally nobody wants a job. So if you need a job, Walmart will hire you. Literally this desk right now. Happy Wednesday, friends. It is a wonderful day. It is really hot out. It is like 80 degrees, super muggy because of the thunderstorm and raining yesterday. So it is nice and cozy and warm and kind of stinky in here. Our principal ordered lunch for us today because she's doing some interviewing. And who doesn't like free food? And I don't even like salad, but I really enjoy this place's salad. And so that is a high compliment coming from me, saying that I like their salad. I need to deal with this desk right now, and I have some other business to do over lunch, so I won't be eating at the staff lounge today. And something else super exciting is like, so I use these containers from Big Lots, the magazine holders, but obviously I didn't buy enough and they ran out online, so I have these ugly green ones that I borrowed from another teacher. So at the beginning of the school year I got these from Big Lots, but they didn't have enough, so I need some more, and I just like looked on the website and they're available. So now I have to like, so I'm like trying to mentally figure out how many I would need, and they have this really pretty mint color too. So I'm gonna get black for my books and mint for something else, but I don't know. But I don't want to buy too many, but I also don't want to buy enough because they ran out and I had to spend like this entire year like wishing I had them. So decisions. So I'm cleaning out my bulletin board back here. You can tell I have a nice roof leak that got my bulletin board fabric all stained. Not happy about that. I'll have to strategically cover it next year with a nice piece of paper. But I was going through some of the cards I got. So besides like a million unicorn cards, there's also this beauty.
Make a chocolatey wish and blow out your candle. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolatey chocolate, so creamy, makes birthdays complete.
My students know me so well. Like, how ridiculous is that? It's just me to a T. So, here's what we got right now. Almost done with this. Disaster is over there. This is a disaster. Table's almost clean. Thursday is tomorrow, so Thursday and Friday, 2 more days of like actual curriculum work, and then I can like start packing up like books and stuff and moving it into cabinets. I talked to my principal and my janitor today, and I think that one of my walls are gonna get painted. So like this wall right here will hopefully get painted this summer, which means I need to like actually take the number line and stuff down off that wall. So that's gonna be a pain finding a tall enough ladder because our ceilings here are kind of like vaulted, so I'll need to get the big orange ladder and climb up there and do it, which I'm not looking forward to, but things you gotta do to have your wall painted pretty. I'm hoping for like a minty color or like a nice purple. I guess there's a color palette you can choose from, so I'll have to make a good choice of that. So I just realized that I've had my cardigan on inside out for probably most of the day, and nobody told me. I went outside briefly after lunch to grab a student from recess, and it was really hot, so I took it off and I came back inside. And when I put it on a couple hours later, apparently I didn't put it on the right way and it was inside out, so that's embarrassing. Another toasty day, and Thursday and Friday are supposed to get even worse. Friday's pajama day, and I have amazing holographic unicorn pajamas. Now, normally on pajama day, I go, crazy, and I've got like the cute footsie onesie pajama sort of thing, but when it's 80 degrees, I don't wear onesie pajamas. So I have these really cute holographic pants I bought at Walmart in the men's section. Can you believe that? That say like Unicorn Dreams and they're holographic. It's amazing, but they're pants, so I don't know if it's gonna be too hot or what, and struggles. Okay, speaking of Walmart, I'm headed off to Walmart because I need some sour cream for dinner. Note, the only thing I need is an iTunes gift card and some sour cream. Will I get only those 2 items? Probably not.
2 times 6, 12. It's brown.
So today is like my actual last day of teaching foundations in math. Tomorrow I'm subbing a little bit for a first grade teacher, and we're doing a root beer float party, and we're gonna go outside and have an extra recess. So I'm looking forward to today being over because that's like the last day of actual curriculum. Hello friends, happy Friday. Yes, the vlog yesterday ended off on a sort of nothing note. I had a meeting after school that turned into like a 2-hour meeting, and right after the meeting I had plans to go somewhere with friends, and so I just like got my stuff together and quickly left, so I didn't have any sort of chance to wrap that up. Yesterday was a great day, and I'm sure today will be an even better day because today is our last day of doing academic things. And for me personally, in the afternoon I'm doing a lot of things in first grade today. They're having their class of the month party because they won our PBIS drawing, and the student that won picked a root beer float party, so they'll have a root beer float party and probably watch like a 30-minute movie, and then we're gonna finish up the rest of our math curriculum, and then we'll probably go outside for extra recess. Their teacher has an appointment, and so I'm just like taking her kids, which is fine because right now, this point in the school year, my afternoon is mostly my first grade friends anyway, so it all works out perfectly. So on an interesting note, yesterday one of my second grade friends came to my room, and he was like, "Are you available?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm available. What's up?" And we launched into this half-hour ordeal of me, him, and eventually the speech language pathologist, because she was going to our meeting as well, and so she was at our school just waiting for this meeting. So the three of us are trying to make a certain paper airplane that has 21 steps. So we ended up like downloading an app, we're trying to make this paper airplane, and so eventually out of the three of us, mine turned out the best. And so the student took all three airplanes at home, and then he had like a little hangar they were in, and he needed to make a control tower, because when he was talking to me, he was like, I need a troll tower. And I was like, a troll tower? What's a troll tower? And he's like, Miss Shearer, you've been on an airplane before. You know what a control tower is. I was like, oh, a control tower. I thought you meant trolls, like, you know, the little movie Trolls. And he's like, no, Miss Shearer, a control tower. Okay. So yes, paper airplane making for a half hour yesterday. And I'm not even quite sure, like, what he was doing with these paper airplanes. Like his whole class I saw when they were taking things home on the bus to like work on, they all had like structures of some sort that they were making. I don't know if that's like part of the math curriculum or what, but I mean it looked interesting, but I don't know exactly what I was helping make paper airplanes for. Like it could have been a competition for all I know, and I just helped him cheat. So the meeting I was at took a little longer than most meetings that I usually have, and this wasn't even an IEP meeting. It was just kind of like a pre-IEP meeting, and then when the student comes in the fall, probably the first couple weeks, then we'll have to do a transfer IEP where we adapt the IEP for this student because she's coming from another district. Oh, there's so many little bunnies across the road. And then it's nice that we did this because over the summer our janitor will be able to make any sort of changes that are needed. So our kindergarten bathroom right now doesn't have two handrails for like by the toilet for use like getting yourself up and down. So they're going to have to install two of them, not just the one that's already in there. And then the door right now swings in. So if someone ever had to go in and like do any sort of assistance in that bathroom, which has happened before, it's like super cramped. Like you can barely get yourself in there. So we're going to have him change the door. So instead of swinging in towards the inside of the bathroom, it'll swing out towards the hallway, which might hit somebody in the hallway if someone just flings the door open, but we need to have that extra space in there. Unfortunately, our school is not up to code for like ADA and like the main portions of their bathrooms. So like prior to this, any student who needed any sort of like bathroom assistance, like handrails sort of thing, or any like wheelchair space, there's a staff bathroom that they would use, because our school is old enough that like the main part where the bathrooms are, it's not up to code right now. So maybe eventually they'll get their act together and they'll fix that, but currently that's not going on at my school. I think we're one of the few schools left in the district that don't have that. Personally, all the schools I went to, like middle school, high school, I know they had very nice bathrooms that were very recently renovated when I was there. And most of our schools have been renovated or have been built like the later 1990s, like early 2000s, so I'm sure those are up to code as well. So we are one of the few stragglers left behind, but that is not surprising. And when it comes to my school, because we are so small and we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, we kind of get things last. Like next year we're doing 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders that are getting all one-to-one Chromebooks, and we'll have a Chromebook cart for the library, and like this is something that other schools have had for a long time, and our school is just now finally getting it. And some of the reasons why is that our school doesn't even have the same kind of Wi-Fi as the other students, just because like it's not offered out where we live. Like they have like some sort of special deal through like the cable company where they like we go into somebody's wires, where like everyone else's is on this like high-speed Wi-Fi fiber optic hookup, and that's just not available where we live. A little bit of the snail pace Wi-Fi signal, but we work through it. It's okay. So I'm gonna go to school. It's kind of late right now. Today is supposed to be so hot. Like the low expectation for today is that it's 84, but it could easily hit 90 if the sun like keeps up going where it's going. Whew. So that's going to be interesting if we do go for outside recess, because it is going to be a scorcher. It's 7:20 now. Usually I'm at school by now, but I was running a bit late today. I was just having a very hard time deciding what shirt I wanted to wear with my pajama pants. Because my pajama pants are like a kind of a holographic cute rainbow. I was like, I'll go with some tie-dye. Originally I was going to wear a shirt that says glitter queen on it and then just covered in glitter and sequins, but it's not exactly the most like comfortable breathing material, and I don't want to feel stifled today when it's hot out. So I'm going to go to school, get my very last academic copies together, and prepare for a fantastic Friday. Hey kids, spelling is fun! We are having a super great day today. Some of my students were outside. We were celebrating the 4th graders for their writer celebration because they all made their very own books, like hardcover and everything. They sewed the pages, so we were outside celebrating them, and younger kids were getting to read their books or look at them. So now I'm about to go to lunch, and then I'm gonna go into 1st grade for the rest of the day. I'm teaching Number Corner and the Bridges lesson, some just leftover worksheets that we haven't finished yet for the year, kind of the fun coloring ones. And then we're having a root beer float party, and then we will do a little bit of social studies, some color by numbers. What's nice is I printed off some that are just number identification for my students, and then the other students will be doing plus and minus. So it looks like the same worksheet, but my students and then 2 others that struggle a little bit will just be working on the number identification, and the other students will be working on plus and minus. And so it'll be the same picture, and it'll be really hard for anyone to tell that they're doing something separate, but it'll also be really easy so that I can do all the teaching and I'm not having to support my students, because instead of me being the supporter, it's just gonna be me doing the teaching. And then we'll do a little social studies, and then we're gonna go outside, have a birthday ice cream treat because it's somebody's summer birthday, and then we'll just play outside for the rest of the day. So hopefully it's a super good day. No behaviors, no behaviors. Friday after school, and it is a scorcher. I am so warm. For those that have air conditioning, I am quite jealous, but I also know that down south there's some schools that actually don't even have heat because they don't get that cold. But up here we're usually out of school by now. Wednesday was supposed to be our last day, and but this year is the school year that never ends because of those good old snow days, which are great in December. But when it's this gross and hot, this late in the year, you just want summer to be here, and all the kids feel the same way because, oh my goodness, they are crabby. And you can just tell that the kids are just so sick of each other. So one thing I was doing today is, one, I'm trying to get rid of all my candy because I have all Sweet Tarts and Starbursts and stuff left that nobody wants. I'm trying to give those away. And I found my collection of Silly Bands this week. And if you're not familiar with Silly Bands, they were like a very, I think I was probably in middle school, so where it's like a bracelet and then you wear it and it's animal. So this one is like a cat or a dog or a dinosaur or something, but I literally have like 1,000. I would wear 50 at a time, and my circulation on my arms would be getting cut off because I had that many on, and I'd have rings for days. So I've been wearing these for the past week and handing them out to kids that have good behaviors, because our PBIS tickets that stopped on a Monday when we did the class of the month drawing. And I know some people, they really don't like PBIS because they don't think it works, but personally in my school it works really well, and it's always nice to have a way to reward the kids that are always doing their jobs positively, because otherwise kids would just see that the kids in check and check out are the ones that are getting candy every single day, or every 5 days that stereotypical naughty kid is getting a prize. And for someone who's always doing their work or doing their job, that can be hard for them. Why are they getting rewarded when they're normally naughty and I'm always good but I don't get rewarded? So that's one thing I do like about PBIS, and it does work really well in our school, and I think we do a really good job of handing out our PBIS tickets and celebrating it and having good things that the kids can redeem for it. So PBIS works really well in my school, but now that PBIS is done, we have these couple days where the kids just think it's a free-for-all now. But since we've already had our last class of the month party, we're not handing out tickets anymore. So kids think they don't have to be following the expectations because they're not getting rewarded for it anymore, or they aren't getting fined for it. In 4th grade, they do a cash register. So if you're lying, you lose $20. If you're stealing, you lose $10. If you're not handing in your homework, that's a $5 fine. And then every week you're earning money or you're getting fined on any sort of infractions, and that works really well for them. But that ended last week as well. So now all these kids that are oh, I don't have to work for it anymore, oh, I'm not getting fined, think that it's a free-for-all and they don't have to do anything anymore. No, you still have to follow the behavior expectations that are expected of you previously in the year. Just because there's 3 days left does not mean you can act like a hooligan. But that's what we've got, folks, right now. We've got a bunch of hooligans running around. I had a fantastic day in 1st grade today. It was ridiculously hot, and only one of the windows cranks open, and it doesn't have a screen. So it's one of those that opens up this way. And so there's a pretty big space on the bottom. And so a kid that sits at the table near there stuck his entire upper body out the window and totally could have fallen out of the window. That would be a bad reflection on my first time ever having to teach 1st grade. But besides that, it went really well. I'm familiar with how the teacher runs the classroom and her expectations and how she's managing it herself. And I can use things like the clip chart to have an incentive for students to be following my expectations. And they were oh, be sure here's our teacher for the day. This is the greatest. She's the best. So like, I have a good rapport with the students, and it's not like I'm just some stranger. And of course, it helps that I told them we were taking our birthday tree outside. So whatever time we had left, we were going outside. So the more time that they spent talking was the less time they could go outside. Now, in reality, our birthday treat was scheduled for 2 o'clock, so I was just spacing things out in order for us to arrive at 2 o'clock anyways, because we have a diabetic who needs to take treats like that at certain times so they can account for it for like insulin and stuff. But they were going to be going outside at 2 o'clock regardless, but I could always make them think that we weren't going out. Yes, because I mean like that. So sadly, I'm off to work. I had to change out of my pajama bottoms and put on some real clothes. I cannot look like a woman. I'm just not one of those kind of people, so I've just got a simple pair of capris on because unfortunately we cannot wear shorts that day. And I'm headed to Walmart, and hopefully they have the air on in there and it won't be that bad. We're going through a remodel right now, so our entire store is a mess, and all the customers are really crabby because nothing's where it's supposed to be. Or they want stuff and it's not out because it's in a trailer somewhere because they're moving that aisle that night or something. It's pretty much a giant mess. And I know they've been moving a lot of apparel this week, and that's where I like primarily work. So I'm pretty worried that I'm going to come in and it's just going to be a giant disaster. They're going to be like, well, go fix it. No, I don't want to be spending my time fixing that. So I'm going to go check out what's going on at the good old Walmart, and I'm going to end this vlog right here. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I can remember. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know that you're watching and that I should keep producing more video like this. I'm hoping to get my act together and get a bunch of videos up this summer as well. Like, I paid off my student loans. I am 26 years old and I paid off my student loans myself in 2 years, which was, and I had student loans that were a little bit over $30,000. So I paid off $30,000 in 2 years, which is crazy that I did it all by myself. So look for videos like that showing up sometime soon, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.